Imagine this. You're standing in front of someone, and in that very moment, he could choose to chase or walk away. Most women think the way to hold a man's attention is by being available, by bending to his desires, by trying to impress him. But here's the truth. Men will chase 1,000 women, but they only commit to the one who does this. And if you stick around for this speech, you'll learn exactly what this is and why it makes a man lock in, not just for now, but for forever. Most women assume they need to change themselves to make a man stay, to become more fun, more available, or more accommodating. But the reality is that understanding male psychology isn't about manipulation, it's about insight. Men are wired to chase what excites them, what challenges them, and what feels rewarding emotionally. When a woman understands this, she can navigate relationships in a way that encourages commitment rather than just temporary attention. It's not about creating games or tricks, it's about recognizing patterns, desires, and motivations. Men often chase because it's thrilling, because it taps into a primal sense of pursuit. But chasing alone doesn't create long-term attachment. Commitment comes when he feels emotionally invested, when he sees that you are someone who holds your own life with purpose and confidence. A woman who knows this can recognize the difference between fleeting attraction and genuine interest. She knows when his pursuit is genuine, and when it's merely superficial. She understands that men respond to behaviors and energies, not just words or appearances. The subtle cues, the way a woman holds her boundaries, the way she communicates her worth, these are the things that make a man think, I want to invest in this woman for the long term. It's also about patience and observation. Understanding male psychology allows a woman to step back from overanalyzing every message or gesture and instead see the bigger picture. His intentions, his priorities, and how he values her in relation to his life. When she aligns her actions with this insight, she creates a dynamic where he doesn't have to be forced to commit. He chooses it naturally. Additionally, this understanding empowers a woman to avoid common pitfalls that lead to heartbreak. She can spot when a man is more interested in the chase than the actual relationship. She can differentiate between those who admire her from a distance and those willing to invest emotionally by learning what truly motivates men beyond surface level attraction, such as respect, emotional connection, and a sense of shared values. A woman positions herself as someone worth the effort, someone whose presence enriches his life, rather than just his ego. Ultimately, understanding male psychology is about clarity. It's about knowing what drives behavior, what makes a man chase, and, more importantly, what makes him commit. It transforms dating from a guessing game into a strategic yet authentic approach, allowing a woman to cultivate relationships that are meaningful, stable, and lasting. It's not about changing yourself to fit someone else's expectations. It's about understanding how to naturally inspire devotion and connection by being fully yourself, while appreciating how men think, feel, and act in the realm of love and commitment. Authenticity is one of the most underestimated yet powerful forces in relationships. Many women believe that to keep a man interested, they need to mold themselves into what they think he wants, changing their opinions, hiding quirks, or constantly seeking approval. But in reality, men are drawn to women who are unapologetically themselves. Authenticity is magnetic because it signals confidence, self-respect, and emotional honesty. When a woman is genuine, she doesn't just attract attention, she inspires trust. Men want to invest in someone real, someone whose energy is consistent and predictable in the best way. Think about it. Chasing is easy when there's mystery or superficial excitement, but true commitment only comes when he feels he knows you, understands your core, and sees the depth of your character. Being authentic isn't about revealing every thought or weakness immediately. It's about showing him the real you over time and not pretending to be someone you're not. It's about expressing your likes, your boundaries, your passions, and your opinions with clarity and confidence. When a woman practices this, she stops trying to impress and instead creates a presence that is both attractive and stable. This doesn't just make a man notice her, it makes him want to align his life with hers. Authenticity also communicates that a woman has self-worth that doesn't rely on external validation. Men instinctively recognize when a woman values herself, when she has her own life, ambitions, and interests. This energy is irresistible because it removes desperation from the equation and replaces it with admiration and respect. A man wants to commit not to a version of you that he hopes will stay, but to the real you, the woman whose life is full, whose heart is open, and whose mind is strong. Furthermore, authenticity allows for deeper emotional connection. When a woman is real, she invites a man to be real as well, fostering trust, vulnerability, and intimacy. He feels seen and understood, and this feeling, more than any physical attraction, creates loyalty and commitment. In short, being genuine is not just a strategy. It's a way of life that naturally filters out men who are only interested in surface-level interaction, leaving only those who truly value and respect her essence. Authenticity transforms dating and relationships because it shifts the focus from trying to get a man to stay to creating a connection so real and compelling that he chooses to commit of his own free will. When a woman embraces her true self fully, she doesn't just attract a man, she attracts the right man, the one who is ready and willing to invest in a real, lasting partnership. Creating emotional safety is one of the most powerful ways a woman can inspire commitment in a man. Most women focus on being attractive, funny, or supportive, but they overlook the deeper need men have to feel safe with someone on an emotional level. Emotional safety doesn't mean avoiding conflict or always agreeing with him. It means providing an environment where he can be himself without fear of judgment, ridicule, or rejection. When a man feels understood and accepted for who he truly is, he naturally lowers his defenses and begins to invest more deeply. This doesn't happen by chance. It requires awareness, empathy, and consistency. A woman who fosters emotional safety knows how to listen actively, validate feelings, and respond in a way that makes him feel heard. She doesn't jump to criticism or try to control his emotions. Instead, she allows space for him to express himself authentically. Men are often conditioned to hide vulnerability, to appear strong at all times, and to avoid admitting uncertainty. When a woman provides a safe emotional space, she gives him permission to show the parts of himself he usually keeps hidden. This is incredibly rare, and men recognize it immediately. They are drawn to women who don't threaten their sense of self, but instead complement it with patience, understanding, and emotional intelligence. Emotional safety also involves respecting boundaries, both his and your own. It's about knowing when to step back and give him room, and when to engage and provide support. A man will commit to a woman who allows him to be independent yet connected, who balances closeness with respect for his autonomy. Moreover, emotional safety strengthens trust. Trust is the foundation of any lasting relationship, and it's built not just through words, but through consistent actions that show reliability, honesty, and care. When a man trusts that a woman will respond with empathy instead of criticism, he feels secure in taking the next step toward commitment. This security fosters intimacy, vulnerability, and a sense of partnership that goes beyond superficial attraction. A woman who masters this doesn't need to chase or manipulate. She naturally inspires devotion. Men are wired to commit when they feel that a woman makes their life richer, calmer, and more fulfilling emotionally. Creating emotional safety is not about being passive or accommodating. It's about being strong enough to hold space, gentle enough to nurture feelings, and wise enough to know that true intimacy is built on trust and acceptance. When a woman provides this, she becomes more than a partner. She becomes the person a man can envision building a future with, the woman he wants to invest in fully and without hesitation. This behavior, the action or mindset that makes a man commit, is often simpler than women expect, yet more powerful than they realize. Many women spend years trying to figure out what will make a man stay, chasing attention, creating drama, or over-investing emotionally. But the truth is, men are drawn to women who combine confidence, consistency, and emotional intelligence in a way that feels effortless yet magnetic. That this isn't about playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about embodying a presence that naturally invites commitment. It's the way a woman holds her life with purpose while remaining approachable, warm, and engaging. When a man encounters this, he doesn't feel pressured to stay. He chooses it. This behavior is anchored in self-respect. A woman who knows her worth doesn't settle for less than she deserves. She communicates her boundaries clearly, stands by her values, and doesn't compromise her standards for temporary attention. Paradoxically, this makes a man want to chase less and commit more. He sees a woman who isn't dependent on him for validation, and that independence creates desire and admiration. This also involves emotional availability combined with restraint. A woman shows that she cares and invests in the relationship, but she doesn't overextend herself or chase his approval. This balance keeps the dynamic healthy, attractive, and compelling. Men are wired to respond to women who make them feel needed in a meaningful, purposeful way, rather than simply filling a void or ego boost. Another key part of this behavior is the ability to make a man feel understood and appreciated. Men crave connection, but they want it in a way that respects their autonomy and intelligence. When a woman listens, acknowledges, and supports him without overcomplicating or over-demanding, she activates a deep desire to commit. This isn't about doing everything for him. It's about creating a partnership where he feels respected, inspired, and confident that he is choosing the right person. Ultimately, this behavior is the combination of self-worth, emotional intelligence, and consistent grounded presence. It's the energy a woman radiates when she is fully herself, confident, passionate, and balanced. A man notices this, often subconsciously, and it triggers a shift from casual pursuit to serious commitment. He no longer wants the thrill of the chase alone. He wants to invest, to protect, and to grow with her. The beauty of this is that it doesn't require manipulation or strategy. It's simply about being the woman whose presence enriches his life so deeply that he cannot imagine a future without her. Boundaries and self-respect are often the most misunderstood concepts in relationships, yet they are critical for inspiring a man to commit. Many women believe that to keep a man interested, they must say yes to everything, accommodate his every request, or avoid conflict at all costs. In reality, the opposite is true. Men are naturally drawn to women who know their worth and hold clear boundaries because it signals strength, confidence, and self-assurance. Boundaries are not walls. They are the invisible lines that define what is acceptable and what is not in a relationship. A woman who sets and maintains these lines communicates that she values herself, her time, and her energy. This makes a man see her as someone worthy of investment rather than someone to take for granted. Self-respect goes hand in hand with boundaries. When a woman respects herself, she doesn't tolerate disrespect, inconsistency, or emotional manipulation. She demonstrates that she expects to be treated with care, kindness, and consideration, and she acts in ways that reinforce this expectation. Men are instinctively drawn to women who hold this standard because it challenges them in a positive way and inspires admiration. It is this balance of firmness and warmth that creates the commitment magnet effect. Men want to commit to women who are confident enough to stand on their own while also being open enough to share connection, intimacy, and partnership. Boundaries also protect a woman's emotional energy by knowing when to say no, when to step back, and when to assert her needs. She creates a dynamic where the man must invest effort and respect to maintain closeness. This is far more effective than chasing, pleading, or overgiving, which often leads to short-term attention but long-term frustration. Furthermore, boundaries teach men how to value her presence and contributions. When a woman clearly communicates her limits and demonstrates that she will not compromise on her self-worth, he is prompted to rise to the occasion, to show commitment, and to meet her at her level rather than expecting her to lower herself. Self-respect and boundaries also foster mutual trust and understanding. A man who sees a woman confidently maintaining her principles is reassured that she is reliable, consistent, and emotionally intelligent. He feels secure in knowing that the relationship is not just about momentary desire, but about long-term partnership built on mutual respect. Ultimately, boundaries and self-respect are not restrictive. They are liberating. They allow a woman to live authentically, to attract the right kind of attention, and to inspire a man to commit fully. When a woman embodies these qualities, she doesn't need to chase or manipulate. She naturally becomes the one a man chooses, invests in, and wants to build a future with. When you step back and look at the full picture, it becomes clear why men will chase endlessly, but only commit to the woman who embodies certain key qualities. Chasing is fleeting, it's excitement, attraction, and desire in the moment. Commitment, however, is deeper. It is built on trust, respect, emotional safety, and authenticity. The women who inspire this kind of devotion are not perfect, nor are they trying to manipulate or control. They are confident, self-aware, and unapologetically themselves. They understand male psychology, they create emotional safety, they maintain their boundaries, and they radiate a sense of self-worth that is magnetic. They do this behavior, not as a strategy, but as a natural expression of their value, their strength, and their clarity about what they deserve. When a man encounters a woman like this, the chase fades because he no longer needs to prove anything. He chooses to invest, to protect, and to commit. The lesson is simple, yet transformative. If you want a man to commit, focus on being the woman who is complete, grounded, and magnetic in her own right. Show him that connection, respect, and understanding are available, but never at the cost of your self-respect. When you embody these principles, you don't just capture attention. You inspire unwavering commitment, and you create a relationship that is meaningful, lasting, and deeply fulfilling for both of you. In the end, the chase is temporary, but the choice to commit is forever, and it is given willingly to the woman who knows her worth, honors herself, and lives with purpose.